Okay, so this is part two, just because part one took so long that I decided to break the videos up into two parts. So this is to do with events and festivals and sponsors. If we look at the home page again, so looking at Chrome, actually not, actually let's look at the home page first of all. So on the home page, we have the news articles. So this is the latest news. And then if we go to the events and news section here, we get the events and festivals at the top and there, and below we've got the news items again. And this, whereas on the home page, it will have 3 news items. On this page will continue to grow as you add your news items on. So we'll have a nice big long news and an events section as well. And we've already discussed how to get the news onto the website. And it's a very similar thing with the events and festivals. If we go events and festivals, hover over it. So we're going to edit this one for a start. You can add a new one if you want. But when you add a new one, it's almost the same as the post, how we add the post. You give it a title, and then you give it a sort of like you give it some text here, and on the right hand side here I've created an image. You could just type in the text there as a paragraph. If we have a look at this thing here, as you can see, I've done a container within a container and a grid, and then we've got left and right sides of the grid. So I've actually created it like that. If you like, and if you like this format, let me just close this down, just so we can see what I'm looking at. So this is this is the way it looks on this page, and we've got, like I say, you could just type it as a sort of like a paragraph there. You don't need to have a right-handed image there. I've just decided to be a bit fancy with this one, and then text here. This is pulled through automatically. So if you decide just to type in the text, I'm just going back to here. Just type the text in straight on here. Don't bother putting an image. You know, you just kind of like just type it in there, paragraph, like we saw on the news page. If you want to do a left-hand side and a right-hand side, I would say rather than, let me just delete these out now. I would say rather than going through the thing of getting a container with a container, adding a grid and that sort of thing, you can do that if you're happy with it. But what I would probably do is to just go into this event here, click these buttons here, and just copy that there, and that copies this whole block system, so that if I leave this page now, when I go to add a new event, I can go into here and I could call this new event, for example, and then go to the content area here and just paste in the thing I've just copied, and it's there. All I've got to do now is to sort of like click on this image and replace it with a new image I want, or click on this here and just change the text. And that's an easy way of doing it. There's no sort of like setting up different sort of like containers or blocks. Just copy it from one that's already been done. That would be the way I do it. And then when you've finished with it, you click publish. Obviously, if you're doing that, you still need to go to this event from the blocks. You click on the event bit and add a featured image. And that featured image is the image that is created when, well, that area there for a start, and that area there. So very similar to the news items. The difference is between the news and the events is this is when creating it. If we go to it, let me just come out of this one now. let's just leave this page. Let's go into the, let's trash that because I don't want a draft hanging around. If we actually go into this one here that I copied a second ago, and the difference is that just below all this content, there is a title, and this is the actual title. Well, I'll show you in a second. We have a title, we have an event date, and an event address. So there's actually a title, an event date, and an event address. And apart from that, it's exactly the same as doing a news item. And if I now close this down, there's the title there. There's the date. There's the address. And this bit here is, well, let's just show you. Is the excerpt section there. So exactly the same as with the news page. There's the excerpt, and then obviously when you click in it, there's a slightly different layout to the news, in that these are added to the top of it, which is basically sort of like the date and the address, and that's the title along the top there. And that's it with that. The other thing to show you is, where are we? Here again, we come out and we look at the sponsors, and here are all the sponsors with the sponsor name. And if I want to add a sponsor, I add a link to where the sponsor's website is, which automatically adds a hyperlink to that links this the image for the sponsor to their own website. So that's the link. I add a title for the sponsor, and then all I need to do then is to add an image. And to add an image, you go out to the top bit here, click it, and add a featured image. The one thing to bear in mind about the logos is you don't want them sort of like, because they're on a scroller, you don't want them to appear on different heights, and you don't want them to be kind of cut off. So they all need to be the same size, really. So if you look at one previous one, you can see the size is 300 pixels wide by 133 pixels deep. And if you select an image like that, upload it into here, like I say, website link, sponsor's name, click publish, and then it will add it to the slider on the website. And I think that's more or less it, really. The Forminator I've already sort of like mentioned. These are the forms on the website. So there's a contact us, there's a partner and a volunteer form, all sitting on the website. They're created in this section. The forms are created in this section, and then that added to the page. And that's essentially it. Obviously, I'm around to sort of like ask any questions, and if you want me to add things for you, like events, if you haven't got enough time yourself, you can just send me over the details, and I don't mind adding those events in, or a news item, because I know you guys are pretty busy. Right, okay, that's it.